Hey guys, welcome back to Twin Tiers Homestead. We are back from Hawaii today. We arrived yesterday. It's a long trip. We're adjusting back to the time zone here. And right now we're just outside checking out and making a plan for what we've got to do. When you're gone for a month, things have a tendency to build up. And so while it was great to be away, it's good to get back home so we can start to work on things that we've got planned before winter sets in. So right now Karen and I are just outside checking things out.
Laughing at the goats.
Yeah, checking out the goats, laughing at them. So they're doing good. My family took care of them while we were gone. They all seem to be doing very well, happy, healthy. Soon we're going to have to be separating these two little bucks from the other three. Before anything starts to happen, if you know what I mean. While we were gone, we had a pretty bad storm here or two. Lost half of one of our apple trees, and so I told my sister just to cut it up and throw it in the goat yard here, which she did, and she said they loved it. But now there's a bunch of sticks and branches left over. We've got to clean those up. A lot of stuff to do in the garden area and around the grass. It needs to be cut. It's probably been about a week or so, maybe. And then the other thing we'll show you up here. While we were gone, the pool woes continued. My sister had called and said that one of our hoses sprung a leak. And she replaced it, and then another hose sprung a leak. When she went to the pool company, they said those hoses really weren't meant for this type of system where it had a salt generator on it. But you know, the funny thing is, those are the hoses that they sold to us when we bought the pool. So she ended up shutting it down so that it wouldn't just pump water all over our yard. But as a result, the pool is now green. It's been shut off for, I'd say, less than a week. You can't even come close to seeing the bottom. I think that it's probably about time that we clean it up and we'll shut it down for the year, because I think the temperature is going to be a little too cold for what the kids are used to. So we'll see. I don't know that we're going to get super warm temperatures here anymore this year. We might reach into the mid-70s, but I don't know if that's going to be warm enough for what the kids have been used to for the past month, swimming in the warm Pacific. So it's going to take a couple of days to get this cleaned up. We'll get our place cleaned up around here, but we'll show you how it progresses as we work through it. So for today, we're just going to start working on the pool. We're going to get the goat yard cleaned up, get all the sticks in our yard cleaned up, check out the garden, and then cut the grass. If we can get that accomplished today, that's a huge first step for us. So, anything you want to add, Karen, for now? Yeah, it's always good to go. But when you're gone for a month, even though it's a month in Hawaii, it's always great to get back home. So we're happy to be home. Slept really good in our own beds last night. I didn't sleep at all on the way home, maybe 45 minutes from Chicago to Buffalo. But I didn't sleep any from Honolulu to Chicago. I know Karen got some sleep, but not much.
Mommy.
Yeah, the girls were constantly
Mommy.
interrupting her sleep. So, all right, well, we're going to get to work here and we'll show you our progress.
That's a major.
All right, so here you can see a leak on the one hose. That's on the skimmer, and that's not a minor leak. That's a major leak. There's no way we could run with that. The plan has been to bury these in the ground with PVC. It just hasn't happened yet. So I guess this is probably as good of any opportunity to do that. So we're going to end up digging up some ground here and plumbing all this in with PVC. So until that's done, I guess we won't be able to run the pool. Can always maybe replace the small hose. It looks like maybe she tried to. Oh no, that's a major break. Extremely disappointed with the quality of stuff we've gotten from our pool store. Our goal now is to avoid buying from them. We'll go out of our way to shop on Amazon or others, and that's just brittle. I can see where it's cracked. It's not that it's been run over. It's just poor quality. So, very disappointing. Alright, my sister had picked up a spare hose for us, so we put that on. I'm going to start it up and see what happens. Go ahead. Let's see if there's any other leaks. I guess it's not a matter of if there's another leak, for sure when, with this hose.
Like a shock or something.
Alright, it all looks sealed right now. A little bit too much water in the pool, but we can address that as we clean it up. Alright, so we're going to add some shock to the pool. Try to get rid of some of the algae that's growing in there. We have this salt generator that is supposed to generate salt for us, so we're not supposed to need chlorine. We had taken it off last year because of the whole setup of it is kind of bad. There's no real easy way to mount this thing. I came up with an alternative solution this year, so we decided to put it back on, thinking that while we were gone, the pool would keep itself clean because it didn't need chlorine. But lo and behold, the hoses fail. Because the pool company that sold us the system said that these hoses that they sold to us with this salt system was not really suited for salt systems. So the big question is, why would they sell us these hoses that go with it? We have a little bit of chlorine that we're adding to it. And we have some tablets that we'll put in our duck floaty over there. We may have to get some more chlorine, but it should do a pretty good job at killing the algae that's in there. The temperature is about 75, which is probably about 10 degrees colder than what the kids were swimming in last week, so I'm not sure how excited they'd be to get into this pool, even if it were clear. I think when we left, the pool temperature was around 80. So it's down about 5 degrees now. And the forecast, the long-term forecast, doesn't really show us getting higher than 75 over the next week or so. And lows are going to be on the low 50s, upper 40s. So it could be that pool season is just about done as we move into Labor Day weekend next weekend. We'll see how it goes. Seems like kids are a little bit more tolerant in the cold water than what I am now. So they might still choose to get into it. Alright, so Karen's put shock in the pool, some chlorine. She's scrubbing it down. I think give it 24 hours, it's probably going to look a lot better, but We're still gonna have to drain some water out of it, and we're gonna have to clean the filter. We also collected all the sticks out of the goat yard, and we've burnt those. There was a number of sticks that came down in the storm that took place here while we were gone that took out half of our apple tree. Went and collected those. All that's been burning down now. So yeah, it's pretty decent amount of work to be finished before lunchtime. We're gonna take a break now, have some lunch. Afterwards, I'm gonna come out and start cutting the grass. Billy will help me. And the girls, what do you think? What do you think you guys are gonna do?
Maybe pick the stick. Go into the garden and pick some weeds.
Some weeds or some vegetables, maybe. Maybe you guys can do a walkthrough of the garden and show them on camera what it looks like, because some of it got a little out of control with the weeds, huh?
Hold on with the sticks.
All right, good job. All right, so the cardboard can go back in the house. All right, so we're gonna break for lunch, and afterwards the girls will show you the garden.
Hi everyone. So we're in the garden now and things look pretty sad. Well, yeah, it looks sad, but we've had some success with our vegetables and some failures. But I'll show you around here. Let's see. So, our green beans have finally decided to grow off, and yes, check out all those weeds. Let's see. There's not a lot of green beans on here, but let's see if I can find any. Not on this vine. Oh, there's a couple right here. But this side has more beans. So later on, after we do some weeding, we'll come in and pick off what looks like we can eat. And these sugar snap peas have been taken over by wild growth. I think that's just a weed right here. Sugar snaps seem to be done. Alright. Now check out these tomatoes. I think the first, let's see how many bushes there are. There's 1, 2. Okay, so these were the ones that were our compost cherry tomatoes from the experiment. Growing pretty good. There seems to be late in the season, I think. I'm not sure. But there's quite a bit of tomatoes. There's some in the fridge. While we were gone, our family here in New York was taking care of the garden. Just checking on growth and hopefully they were able to consume some things. So these are the cherry tomato plants. Kind of out of control, but lots of fruit on them. Liliana's in the jungle over there. We're gonna get some weeding done. Here's Aroma. I see lots of tomatoes. They're very green and they're very crowded. I think it's just one plant. But I didn't get to prune them as much. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of tomatoes, but they're very green. Roma. This one doesn't look very healthy at all. It's got some, I don't know if that's blight or... This one is, no. Oh, no, that is my beef master. Right? Yeah. These are the beefsteak. And there's quite a few of them. They're very green, but pretty big. Like this one. fills up my hand. Yes. Good. Here's another Roma. Some ripening fruit. I better trim off these sickly things. They're just too close to each other. Too much. I planted a few sunflower seeds and they have not. Well, they finally have started to grow, but there's no flowers yet. Let's see. That's as far as it's gotten. This one. This is the tallest one. So, right there. Right before we left, I had forgotten about my bell pepper plants, sweet peppers. Well, that's all we've gotten so far. I see some flowers starting, but maybe they're just more leaves. The kale looks beautiful. Lots and lots of kale. This, I don't know. I think it's either broccoli or cauliflower, but there's nothing edible unless you eat the leaves. But it looks like bugs have been eating the leaves. What's that?
Really looks like an onion.
Oh. Alright. So let's show you. It's really a mess in here. So this is my spinach that has taken off and don't know what it's doing. Spinach. A stray marigold plant. This was raspberry. The asparagus is buried here. They're these things right here. So maybe, hopefully next year we'll get some good spears out of them. Strawberries taken over by weeds, but they're still there and they have a lot of runners. So that's the strawberries. The garlic is here somewhere. We dug up 2 before we left. I don't know where the other 2 went. I suppose if I dig in the ground, I'll find the bulbs. And look, my eggplants have finally started to grow. I picked one off yesterday when we came home. This is the Japanese eggplant. Hmm?
That part of it out.
Oh, what is it? I think it's just the root of a weed.
It was a root of a weed.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it came from.
Well,
There's still part of it stuck in the ground and there's a plant pumpkin.
Animals have been eating it. Okay, so our zucchini plants were here and they were very prolific this year. But this is what I've come home to. There is nothing left. Cucumber.
Oh man, there was another one.
Still hanging on there.
There was a little one.
Yep. Still hanging on. I think there was. Oh, here's one cucumber left growing. This one got eaten by something. We pulled a couple off yesterday. Gave them to the chickens. There's a little eaten one. So cucumbers are pretty much done. Looks like junk. Blueberry bush. Was that blueberries? I don't remember. Either blueberry.
Why is it so pokey?
Well, a lot of the weeds are pokey. Okay, so then there was another tomato plant here, but it didn't survive. That's all right. Now, I don't know what happened to all the pumpkin plants, but this is what is left. So I think, obviously, something was in here. We have a few good pumpkins. This one's been eaten. Pumpkins. they were growing. They were growing really well, and this is what's left. I'm kind of scared that there's snakes in here. So we have this mass of weeds, or melons, the golden melons. And Bill found one. Let's make sure I don't step on any snakes here. So there's a nice looking melon in there. Oh, here's another one. So I'm going to try and clean this up a little bit. Oh, there's a couple. So there's one down there. Some here. Not sure about the other side because I'm scared. There's a bale of clover. Clovey? No, ivy. That's the English ivy, I think, that's spreading all over our yard. So there might be a couple more melons in here. This is seriously a mess. Oh, massive weeds. Really sad. Here's a Swiss chard. It's pretty good. And I wore my boots today, I'm glad. What? She's working hard over here. So, pretty happy about the green beans. This is better than last year. Okay, so here are my watermelon plants. I'm not sure what is weed here and what is watermelon.
I just got out.
I need to...
I think it's goldenrod.
Yeah, you better be careful. This is the girl that's very allergic to things.
Yeah, there are already some
Okay, so here,
in the garden.
and ta-da! Look, it's a baby watermelon. Oh, there's another one, a little really baby, right there. This one is bigger than my hand. I need to try and fix the vines. So, another invasive weed. And here's another watermelon. So this, how cute. It's all I see are this little one. I think there was another one down here. Oh yeah, right here. This one's, oh, here's a little baby that fell off. Little baby watermelon. Alright, so as you can see, we've got a lot of work to do. So I am going to get to it and we will check back. Alright, so I was back behind the tomato fence, clearing up and tying up these heavy tomatoes, and I just cleared out some of the lower weeds, and here's what I found. 3 Americana eggs. They're blue-green. I don't know if you can tell, but there they are. So the chickens have been coming in here and laying eggs. Probably, oh, well that's what got all the other plants. Now it makes sense. The chickens ate the zucchini plants.
I'm working on another white one.
Alright, so back to work. Just wanted to share my egg discovery.
Hey guys, so we're wrapping up our first full day at home. Karen's been weeding in the garden out here. Billy and I have gotten the grass cut, and what else did I do? Oh, yeah, we put the goats out on the back field. We spent some time today putting a paddock together out back for the goats. They're out there now. I'm not going to go out there because they're going to come up to the fence and probably get shocked. The one thing I'll say is that it took us a little bit because, let me see if I can get over in here. This area right through here, we had 3 strands of high tensile electric wire running down the side of these posts, and somebody, I don't know who did it or what they did it with, somebody ran through those and that fence was just all tore up. It was in pieces. I don't know, maybe got caught on a lawnmower as my sister was cutting the grass. Not really sure, I'll have to ask her about it, but we had to fix all that. And then we put a, let's see, where is it down here? We put a paddock up down there for the goats, down in this front half of this back field on this side of it. They seem to be pretty happy with that today. And then, let me go inside and let this adjust. One of the things I had done before we left, so inside of their stall, I have this feeder, and it holds a couple of flakes of hay, which is great. The problem is with goats, they make a big mess. They just pull it out, and once it falls on the ground, if their hooves touch it, they won't eat it. So what I had done is I had created these inserts to go in there using field fence. They mangled that with their hooves. You couldn't get anything in there. I'll hold one of these up here. I'll show you what it looks like. There we are. So that used to be a nice square. And my sister kept telling me, well, she's got to fix the feeders because the goats keep bending them. I never realized what it was like until I came in here today and I saw this. So I had built one of these to put inside of that feeder and then to hang on this gate so we could put out a couple of flakes for them and it would last them. But they've absolutely just destroyed these things. So much for that idea. In doing that, I realized this is hay. Let me back out here. When we left, this was all clean. Right down to the barn floor. And now it's probably about 6 to 7 inches deep, full of hay that they have pulled out and just wasted. We even had so much of it, we threw some in their stall on top of those pine shavings that we had. So, but they seem to be happy. That's Pono. He's a very vocal one today. Anyways, it makes me realize I've got to come up with an alternative feeder because this thing's going to waste too much hay. Have some ideas based on some stuff that I've seen at Tractor Supply, but I'm gonna build my own, and so I'm likely gonna put it right here along this fence when I'm done with it. Hopefully it'll stop them from wasting so much hay. So we'll see. And so we got a lot of that done today. A lot of cleaning up. We have a lot more to do. So, camera around here. There was no expectation that we were going to get this all done in one day, but we wanted to get a start on it. It's going to take us a week to get caught up with everything around here. There's just too much, not enough time in the day, and so that's just the way it is when you take off and leave everything for a month. Thought I'd show you the pool because the work that Karen had done is already paying off. Come up to a spot that's maybe a little easier to see from. It's still green, but not as bad as what it was. Let me turn the camera around here and show you. I don't know if you can see that very well, but still cannot see the bottom. but it's a far cry from what it was. So we're probably going to clean up the filter, let this thing run overnight, add some more chemicals tomorrow, and then just do the same thing over and over again for a couple of days. We'll get it clean. Just going to take a little bit. I think it's a good time to sit down for a second. Just in the sun. So much for that idea. There we go. All right, folks. Well, that's all we have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Press that little notification button to get notices when we come out with new videos. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Leave any comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you on the next video, guys. Thanks.